Moonlight Nana.
Hello everyone, I'm Moonlight Nana and this is my 46th Medibang Pen Pro tutorial video. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope it can help you start off your first step in your digital art journey. In the previous Medibang Pen Pro tutorial video, I showed you how to open a new manga or comic project. But that method will not automatically save your manga comic project on cloud to enable you to use this Open Project dialog button. If you save the project on cloud, it will be saved as an artwork instead of a manga comic project. Therefore, for this Medibang Pen Pro tutorial, we will explore how to create a manga comic project directly on cloud. Please remember that an internet connection is needed for this, and if that's clear, then let's start. Okay, there are two ways to open a new project for drawing comic or manga that directly connects to the cloud. The first one is from the Medibang Cloud Service window here. Okay, so on the left side, under the Let's Draw category, you look for the second item from the top, which is the Draw Manga item. Click on it and this window will appear, which is the New Project window. This window is mainly the settings window for starting a comic or manga project. Alright, so this is the first way. Now, the second way is to head over to the file and then click it. In its drop down menu, look for the new cloud project, okay, which is this one, and then click on it. The same window will appear. So then I will explain the items of the project of the new project window in this tutorial. Okay, alright, so say you have a comic or manga idea in mind and you want to draw it digitally and save it on cloud to share with other people. This new project window is your starting point. The starting item of this window is the theme. Here is where you determine who you're going to share this manga comic project with. Will it be by yourself or with other collaborating members? You can pick which theme you want this comic manga to be shared with by clicking this box and selecting from its drop down menu. Okay, if the theme you're looking for isn't included here, click the refresh button and then check again. If the theme you want still does not appear, or if you don't know what a theme on Medibang Cloud is, please check out Medibang tutorial 42 about how to make themes or groups on cloud. Next is the title, which is straightforward. This is for you to name your project. So then you simply erase this untitled and then type in the name for your comic manga project. For me, I'll type in Moonlight Nana tutorial. Okay. Next is the template. I have explained about the template for comic or manga in the previous Medibang Pen Pro tutorial video. You can check it out for an in-depth explanation. Clicking on the box for template will show you a drop-down menu of popular comic manga templates like the doujinshi and the manga and the USA comic. If you select any which of these templates, say for example I select the doujinshi template, then automatically the measurements for the page will be set down here. You have the canvas size, which is auto-filled and cannot be edited because the paper size that you picked is already fixed. And then the finish line or finished, safe line, safe area, and then the bleed, and then the spine. These ones you can edit its measurements like over here or values to your liking. Either you want to set it in pixels, in centimeters, or in inches. But I recommend you that you just follow the automatically set values and the measurements. Okay, remember each template comes with its auto set of measurements, for example like this one. So it's different, and that's why these numbers change according to the template you selected. Okay, so then if you don't know what template is and all the items from canvas, all the items like from this canvas to the spine, then please watch Medibang tutorial 45 because I'm not going to explain everything back. Alright, before we move on, I would like to elaborate on the web template, which is this ones. Okay, there are two options for web template. The first one is with the standard type, a standard web template measurement. Then the second one, which is this one, is the same thing, only twice bigger in measurement than the standard one. Okay, now the web template is used when you want to draw a webcomic which will be digitally published. Webcomics are rising in popularity in the smartphone era because almost everybody has a flat screen rectangular device in hand in which they can read comics online. The webcomic has its own template because it is designed to be read from top to bottom as the comic pages are scrolled down instead of flipped like a physical comic books like those. Okay, so if you want to start a comic or manga series targeting an audience who only reads online from digital devices, then this template is for you. Webcomics are one of the easiest comics to do. Plus, they're very attractive and can reach a vast audience because they're easily available. However, once you start a webcomic series using this template, it is very hard to have it published on paper or into an actual comic book due to its nature of having elongated pages. Might as well publish it on scrolls like they do in ancient China. Okay, drawing common manga and comics are harder, but they can be published both traditionally and digitally. So please keep this in mind if you have great ambitions to further expand on your comic or manga's market. Okay, we're done about the templates and the basics of comic manga elements, which are these things here. Okay, now let's take a look at the items in the boxes down here. Okay, so first of all is this button, use crop marks. This one is to activate the blue lines or frames on the canvas later. What blue lines? I'm talking about the save line, the finish line, bleed, and the margins. For web template, like this one, the crop marks aren't necessary, okay? But if you pick other templates, like this one, then this use crop marks button will automatically be activated. If you deactivate it by clicking on it, then the settings for finish line, save line, etc. will be hidden. Okay, and then we have the keep aspect ratio button is to make the canvas stay in its initial shape regardless of how the size of it is changed. Alright, so for example, let me pick on this, which one will be? The web. Okay, so I'll pick on the web and then I'll activate this button by clicking on it, and then I input the width over here. So say I put it at 1000. Okay, if I change the width, then you will notice that the height also changes with it. So for example, like this one. Okay, then if I do it in vice versa, for example, I put it here like 3000, and then the width will also automatically be filled, okay, as per the fixed aspect ratio. So then that is what it means to keep the aspect ratio. Whatever that the width and the height, however they are changed, the width and the height will always tally to each other. Okay, so that's like, I hope you get that. Okay, now if I deactivate this keep aspect ratio and then change the value here, you will see that the value for width doesn't change like it did before. So the same thing will happen with the height. Okay, that is when I deactivate the keep aspect ratio. So if like this, we have to manually input a value or measurement for the both of them. Alright, so I hope you get that. As for the DPI, which is down here, you can pick from the options from its drop down menu, or you can manually type it yourself like this. Okay, the other measurements or values of the page will automatically be set to follow the DPI that you pick. So if you see, I pick the 72, the measurements here will change, and then if I pick like a bigger one, and so this one also follow suit. Okay, this DPI is for the common pages, while this one is the DPI for the cover page of your comic manga. The cover DPI will not influence the values of the default pages, unlike this DPI. So for example, if I put here 350, it doesn't change anything. Okay, so all of these measurements, they follow this DPI. Okay, for example, here. Now, if I activate this button, use cover DPI button, only then the values will follow the DPI for the cover. Okay, so you see this, the differences here. Okay, so that is just about it. And then so if you use this use cover DPI button, then this one does not influence the measurements here. All right, so I prefer to not use this because this is the default one, the default pages ones. Then we have the reverse width and height button, which is simply to exchange the values of measurement between the height and the width. Okay, so like for example, check out this the width for this canvas. It is 15.4 centimeters, while its height is 21.6 centimeter. If I click this reverse width and height, then the width and the height's value will be exchanged. Now the width is 21.6 centimeters, while the height is 15.4 centimeters. It's just that. Okay, similar to setting the canvas orientation to either portrait or landscape. Okay, so this is easy to understand, right? I hope you're still keeping up because there are many other items in this window that need to be covered within this Medibang tutorial video. Okay, now let's look at more items down here. The number of pages in default refers to the number of pages your comic manga is gonna consist. You may toggle to increase or decrease the number of desired pages of your manga or comic, or you can directly input type them in. So for example, 10 pages, just like that. Okay, just do a rough estimation and don't think too much of this, because later on when the project is created, you can add new pages and delete pages as needed when you progress through. As for the create cover page button, this one is activated simply if you want to include a cover page into the comic manga project you will be working on. If you don't want to include it, then you can just deactivate it like this by clicking on it. Okay, then finally is the description here, where you can write or put notes about the project. Basically any info about the comic manga project. Simply click inside this box and then type in what you want to say about the project. So for me, I'll just type in this is a tutorial demonstration. Okay, that's about it. Okay, so these are all the basic info items and settings for when you are starting or creating a new comic manga project. Most of these are automatically filled once you pick a template. Okay, so it makes things easier for you. But before we proceed to click OK, I'd like to explain about this button up here next to the template box, which is the show detail button. I haven't elaborated on this button, right? Okay, I'll first pick a template. So for example, I'm picking a manga for grayscale, and then I'll click on this show detail button. You'll see here that additional settings have appeared. If you look at this new project window as whole, with the additional settings appeared on the right side here, you might feel overwhelmed by all this. That's why I skipped this one just now, or else it might discourage you to continue learning about this window. So let's take a look at the first group up here first, the default page colors. The settings in here determines how the pages of the project will be displayed. For the first item, which is the color mode, refers to what type of colors will your comic manga be drawn in. Here it has been set to grayscale 8-bit because just now for the template I picked the manga grayscale, so it automatically sets at SO, meaning when I draw later on, the drawing will be displayed in black, white and different shades of gray. The color mode cover refers to the type of color your cover page will use. By default, it is in full color. Okay, meaning you can put more colors other than black, white and gray. The cover page is usually set to full color because a colorful illustration as the cover page is more attractive. The background refers to the canvas's color. Either you want it to be transparent or white from the beginning. Okay. The default page colors settings group is similar to the items I have explained in the previous tutorial video, so I will not elaborate more than this. Please check out my Medibang tutorial 45 for more explanation. Next, let's look at the Rendition Preferences group. Okay, this one is to determine the way the comic manga will be read, be it traditionally or digitally. The page progression direction refers to the direction the readers will read the manga. In this box, the drop-down menu shows three options. Okay, so we have left to right, right to left, vertical writing, and the top to bottom for web. Okay, the left to right is the most common reading direction for Western countries, which is sinistrodextral. The right to left or vertical writing is the common reading direction in countries like Japan and Arab, while the vertical writing is used by the Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, and sometimes Korean. If you're drawing a comic manga for audience in these countries, you may select this type of page progression. Okay, the right to left. And then the top to bottom for web is used if you are drawing webtoons or comics to be read digitally. It doesn't matter if your audience are used to the sinistrodextral or the dextrosinistral way of reading, because with webtoon everything is read from top to bottom. Next is the rendition orientation, determining if your comic manga is to be read in the portrait oriented way or portrait like most books do, or in a landscape way for special type of comics. Or you can just set it to auto if you couldn't pick either one. As for the rendition spread, now this one is a little tricky. This item refers to the pages as they are being spread out. We have we have auto, both, landscape, none, and portrait. Okay, so just leave it as auto. Now we look at the default first page spread. Now this default first page spread is like the rendition spread, only that this is only for the first page. Notice that if I change the templates, for example like this one, the rendition preferences also changes. This is because different book formatting follows different book elements for publishing. For example, for USA comic, okay, this LDR manuscript, the books are read from left to right. And that is why the page progression direction here is automatically set to left to right. And then the default first page spread is right on spread. Now, if you pick doujinshi or manga, which are read by the Japanese, then the page progression will be right to left, the vertical writing, while the default first page will be left on spread. And then as for the web, the page progression is top to bottom, and then the rest are in auto. Then the box group down here just now will not be activated. So you see, different templates have different book formatting settings. Medibang Paint Pro has made it easier for you by automating the settings. Okay, so you just need to follow it. You don't need to change anything here once you pick a template, unless your comic manga is really unique and out of the ordinary, then go ahead and trouble yourself. Okay, next group of settings is the printable building preferences. This one is an additional setting to publishing your comic manga book on paper. The webcomic template do not have this group of additional settings, okay, because webcomics are published digitally instead of on paper. Now, the book binding method refers to the part of the book spine where it holds the pages together. There are two options. It's the saddle stitching and the perfect bind. Now you gotta find out which one is the best for you for your manga comic book, and then you'll pick it lah. And then you can also ask your local printing shop which book binding method they can do to help you make a choice for this, okay? Or else you just leave it blank. The printing shop will handle this part. The cover file composition refers to the printing of your cover book. In its drop-down menu, there are cover printing options for illustration printed on the book itself, or you can opt for the detachable cover also. Here we see options for the cover only, the back cover, the spine, and even the inside-outside cover. You may pick whichever appeals to you the most, or you can leave it blank. Alright, so we finished covering this extra group of settings, and we're also done with the rest of the settings in this new project window. I'll say it again. Most of these settings are automatically set once you pick a template. The most you need to fill in are the title and the description. Okay, that's all. But I explained the settings and all the items, so at least you have knowledge of what they do or their function. Okay? So when all is set and you're satisfied with the settings, you may now proceed to click OK. Finally. Wait a while for the project to be created on cloud, and then when it's ready to be worked on, you will see this window. Now this is the Open Project dialog window. As you see here, this icon is finally activated. This is the last window that you will learn about before finally completing the topic of Medibang Cloud Service. But this video has gone for so long, I will explain about the Open Project dialog window in the next Medibang Paint Pro tutorial. I'm tired of talking. You also take a break too. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial video of Medibang Paint Pro. Please like this video and subscribe to Moonlight Nana channel or follow me on Facebook. Together we help each other out in our art journey. Have a blessed day ahead, everyone.